first hour will be spent looking at a couple of stories that caught my attention. But I'll be speaking mainly on BBNaija. Yes, indeed. For this hour, we're going to have an intimate relationship with those that we love to hate on our screens. The Ericas, the Lakons, the Ozos, the Doras, and whoever you decide to love or hate in that house, we will have a conversation about in this hour. 4 o'clock brings Canvas, the Niger Delta Roundtable, I believe. Of course, another important conversation will be activated today. We're looking at Niger Delta, Let's Go Green. Dr. Chinyere Former will be with me to talk about the possibility that lies in going green. 5 o'clock brings a story about a woman whose son was knocked down by a vehicle. And it is believed that that vehicle lost control because a task force official was, let me use a Nigeria term, dragging the steering with the driver. That boy is currently in the hospital. So if that is anything to go by, some questions need to be answered. That conversation happens in the 5 o'clock hour. And of course, 6 o'clock brings open season, where you get to respond or react to any of the stories if you did not have the chance through the show. Remember, the news happens on every hour. That's hard fact for you. Don't go anywhere.
We start you off in the morning, keep you all day, and keep you company, all night long. We are
92.3
Nigeria Info. The first talk station of the nation.
Welcome back. The first story that caught all our attention is of Labour and, of course, River State. That conversation happened yesterday and the day before. Today, I was supposed to speak to the NLC chairperson, but for some reason that could not happen. Not because we want to know about the agreement. Yes, we know about that. But some questions were raised from the document published from that meeting. Some questions were raised as to why certain things were not as explicit as they should have been. Some questions about timeline. Some questions about the veracity of that document. Some questions about what would happen if government refuses to fulfill its promises. Some questions about some questions that were not asked in the meeting. And hopefully that conversation happens at another time. Hopefully, but it's not happening right now. So, Madam Itubo, I'm sure we would have that meeting. The next focus, which is almost still really, is reactions following comments made by a cleric. We should have heard that story. One of the biggest men of God in this town, as we like to call them. I'm not very quick to respond or react to things like this. Well, a lot of people in my space, broadcasters, have talked about, that pastor said that broadcasting work is not a job. He said it from the altar of God, from the pulpit. He called you people nothing. What do you have to say about that? Well, there's nothing to be said. It's an opinion. But my opinion to the pastor, if he's listening, because he lives in, he's around. This is an important job. It's important you understand that, as much as yours is also important. So have that in mind, and next time please watch your utterances from the pulpit. It's important. Now for the focus for this hour. This is not a rant, it's an epiphany. I always like to use that word when in my head I feel like I'm going to share some common sense. It's not exactly my opinion, it's a statement of fact, but hopefully it changes the way you think. And that is BBNaija. Now, love the show, hate the show, it's there. That reality show is like that child that everybody does not believe will make it in life. But they eventually do. And no matter how you hate on that child, they keep succeeding. And maybe one day they even help you financially. Now, I'm not crazy about BBNaija, but you see, the news about that reality show is so big that you don't have to follow it. It follows you. It's on Twitter, and I'm on Twitter. It's on Instagram, Facebook, it's on cable. Whether or not you like it, you must have heard something about it. You complain all you want, it's in your face. You know why? Because some people designed it to be that relevant. Even when you hate it, you find yourself talking about it. But I'm not here to encourage you to watch or not watch BBNaija. That's not the focus. I'm here to tell you why people are so interested in it and not in nation building. Now, the latest that came out of that was yesterday, I believe. Nigerians were criticizing fans of Erica, who was on the show, for starting a GoFundMe campaign to raise money for her. I'll run through the report very quickly. A GoFundMe was launched for disqualified BBNaija Season 5 housemate Erica. It had generated, at the time of this report, $15,863, which is about 6.1 million, in 22 hours. The funds were raised at that time by 195 people. It was launched less than 1 hour after she was evicted on Sunday night for repeatedly flouting the Big Brother house rules. Now, Erica's Instagram also saw growth of by 80,000 followers in 23 hours. And as at then, she boasted of over 600,000 followers. The GoFundMe was launched by a certain individual with a $100,000 goal, which is about 38 million. So, people complained. Said, what is wrong with our youths? Why would they contribute for Erica and not contribute for things that are important to Nigeria? Some activists came on Twitter to say, we are the ones doing it ourselves. You cannot contribute to fix something in your community. We've been calling for sponsorship of this one, that one. But somebody leaves Big Brother's house, as it's called, and people have raised as much as they can. Now, I said 15,000 at the time because right now, I've looked at that, I'm on the site. They've raised $23,276 and counting. So it's going to grow as much as it needs to, whether or not you like it. So the question is, why are young people interested in BBNaija and not nation building? Why? Another person who's had a couple of things to say, Charlie Boy, he's been an activist for quite some time, and he has criticized Nigerian youths for engaging more in the show. The Oni of Ife. Many people have said this is not the way to go. Some have said this thing is spoiling our children. Why can young people not focus on developing the country? Now again, as I said, I'm not crazy about the show, but I have to admit, I know a couple of things about it. So let me tell you why Nigeria is not interesting enough like BBNaija. Point number one, because leadership and politics have not taken the youth anywhere. Leadership and politics have not taken the youth anywhere. Now you would ask, Sam, but where has BBNaija taken the youth? Well, directly or indirectly, they have moved. Let's start with the first obvious point. People actually seem to have a fair chance, or at least the dream of a fair chance, on that reality show. Now, when people look at that house, they see young people like them. Many people who are supporters of that show somehow deep down believe that they have what it takes to be in that house. Many people. So I'm young. I'm in my 20s or 30s. And I watch some show that has people in their 20s or 30s. I give them my support, time, resources, whatever. And deep down, maybe I have a dream of joining them. And I know it's possible. Now, let the average young person look at leadership. The governors, the president, the senators look nothing like him. As a matter of fact, for young people to even be a part of governance, they had to launch a campaign, hashtag not too young to run. Do you know what it means to get government's attention, to tell leadership that we, the young people, will like to lead the nation? And a campaign was launched, which eventually became global. You literally had to ask for you to take positions to influence decisions in your country. So when the average young person looks at the screen and sees housemates trapped in some house where some invisible big brother talks to them, and then looks at the politics of the nation, where do you think he stands a chance? Let's act like neutrals now. Let's just act like we're not Nigerians. We're just people observing the two systems. Where do you think the young person stands a better chance at success at anything? Big Brother or politics? Exactly. I think we would know what your answer was. When was the last time a common man had a shot at being governor? Season 2 of BBNaija had some guy called Efe from Warri. He was a nobody, or at least nobody knew him. He eventually got there, got the love of fans. People loved him. They voted, and he won. Don't ask me what he's doing now. I don't know and I don't care. But he won. People saw a nobody become somebody. Now let a nobody in your street try to be anybody in politics. Let's support him. Where would he go? How far would he go? For you to be anything, one big guy in politics must know you, like you, endorse you, sponsor you. So that means even if people think you're good enough for that position and they feel like they want to vote for you, if that superpower backing is not there, you would most likely fail. So young people see these things and they are opting for the system that seems to work for them. So that reality show has given the average young person, now not everybody is interested, I must point that out, something to dream about. The next thing is they have seen how quickly people go from nothing to something. How quickly? I think that should last for a couple of months. 90 days or 70 something days, so about 3 months, give or take. In 3 months, a couple of people who stepped in were not known. They now know them internationally. They get rich, they get more famous, most of them get endorsed, different endorsement deals. Many of them get verified on social media. So now they have fame and maybe even fortune, and it happens in a space of 3 months. That is the direct demonstration of get rich quick. Now let's come to politics. Anybody becomes a senator, and in months they've made more than they need for a lifetime. And people are seeing these things. And someone would ask, why? Can you imagine? They contribute $22,000. That money can be used. It can. It can. But the people who contributed that money, they put it in a system that they believe in. When was the last time people genuinely believed in the Nigerian system? No, let's be honest. When was the last time you believed in a Nigerian system? Anyone? No matter how simple that thing is, one or two persons, a majority of people will expect it to fail. Oh, register for a driver's license. Everybody's going to complain about something that shouldn't happen in that office. Oh, come and get your national ID card. Any national process already has doubts before it has even started. If the government announces, oh, we're doing a school feeding, anything, let tomorrow just announce there's a scheme. Nigerians, before even understanding what it is, do not believe it will work. They think it is rigged. They feel it to be political. It will not get to them. And so they have lost faith in the system before even understanding the system. But those same Nigerians vote on different platforms to make somebody the winner of BBNaija. So they believe in that system. So what is that reality show doing that your country can learn from? What? And people who ruin this system, the Nigerian system, it's you and I. If you call 10 young people who love football and say, what football club do you support? 11 of them would call a foreign club. Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, Barca. You would hardly hear Sharks of Port Harcourt, Eimba of Aba. Why? Because these teams belong to an organized league. They love what they see. They've spent money in promotion. And so it's easy to be a Chelsea fan. There are Nigerian clubs that I don't know what their jerseys look like. Lots of them, I have no idea. I would have to Google. But ask me, what is the home jersey of Chelsea? I'll tell you it's blue. But it's a different shade of blue from Man City. And I don't even love soccer that much. So these guys have practiced this organized system for so long. And it's very easy to have followers, to have fans, because it's organized. Now look at the BBNaija system. How many things have you seen more organized than that? You might hate it. Again, I want you to look beyond the Leko and the Erica. No, I want you to look at the system. Even in a lockdown, where people thought that reality show will not hold, they even called it BBNaija Lockdown Edition. It's a business. Every year you see sponsors upon sponsors. It keeps changing because lots of people are bidding. They just want to be there. The eviction show is every Sunday. The votes are collated. The host is doing what he does. The DJ comes to play on Saturday. And everything is happening. It is organized. So it must have followers. It must have fans. Because the team have come together to put up a show. And they've said to themselves, we're going to do as much as we can to push this agenda. So it doesn't matter how many times people are calling for the ban of that show. Nobody's banning BBNaija. I'm not even saying it because I have insider information. I'm saying it because it's a business. Nobody. Think of how many people had to renew their cable subscription this month and last month. And then someone is evicted. People contribute money and you want to complain and say, why are they not? These young people are not interested in nation building. Does the nation look attractive enough to build? I'm not trying to be unpatriotic, but sometimes it hurts when people cannot see what is staring them in the face. The next argument, which is popular. Oh, look at the millions of people that voted. How many of them came out to vote in the last elections? You know what I like about that statement? He used the word came out. As people who voted for BBNaija, they did it from the comfort of their living room. It was so convenient they did not have to move. Now, we have been advocating for e-voting for the longest time. If my country has another election, if it's tomorrow or next week, you will still hear ballot box. You would hear polling station. So people have to leave their houses, go to some point where they would wait for a very long time. The ballot boxes will very likely not come on time. It's possible that they might encounter some level of violence. They will go through all of this, and after that, the chance of their vote counting is very slim. Then you want to put that system against a system where every Sunday Ebuka is saying, if you have an active DSTV or GoTV subscription, you're entitled to blah, 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 blah number of votes, which is on your phone, by the way. The app of that GoTV or DSTV is not at a polling station. It's on your mobile phone. And when last I looked, everybody has their device in hand. And then they say you can vote via text message. Do you see the convenience? So who would prefer to go outside and vote? And this e-voting is not because we want to, some will say they want to chop money from. That's where the world is going. It feels like a better system. But somehow we are not adopting it. And every year we hear how much is appropriated for elections. Every year. It keeps increasing. But the system doesn't change. All you have is maybe card reader. And then you look at a young person and say, you voted for BBNaija. Why did you not vote in the last elections? And they don't have the answer. Well, I have the answer. It's not convenient. Now, it does not mean that people do not go out and vote in other countries, that they don't step out. No, they do. But it's not as stressful as it is here. Because when last I looked, convenience is also an important factor. I cannot remember the last time that I bought recharge card. Now, I did not say last time I loaded my phone, that I bought the actual card and loaded a PIN. You know why? There's VTU. Many people recharge straight from their account now. That's convenience. Type a code star, blah, 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 star this hash. You have your 500, your 1000, your 15. And since that system came up, recharge card sales dropped. Because it's convenient. I can do it from anywhere. So why would young people not be interested in that system that makes it easier for them? Why? When the Nigerian system has failed them time and time again, and then you think Erica is your problem? Erica is not your problem. She can never be your problem. So next time when you want to ask why people are more interested in the reality show, look at the two systems and ask yourself, which is more organized? As much as I love to hate this show, is there something I can learn? That is why BBNaija beats your system. So upgrade the system. Make it convenient. Make votes count. Give people something to believe in. And they will subscribe to the system. It's that simple. If tomorrow the BBNaija guys say everybody has to vote at some polling unit, you would see votes drop. Nobody has that time. For those contributing money, well, it's your money. They'll put their money where they want it to be. I don't know how to end this because it's not a rant, so I can't say that's my rant, but I'd like to hear from you. BBNaija or nation building? 084461923. 084461923. WhatsApp is 08090306416. Please turn off your radio as you call so we enjoy our conversation. Hello?
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good day, Oracle.
Hi.
I'm Tango calling from Nlewedim.
Go ahead, thank God.
Yes, from your narration, since you said it's not ranting.
Turn off your radio. I can hear myself and yourself. Okay, well, thanks for turning the whole thing off. Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Chinke Daniel,
Go ahead.
my brother, you know why?
Why?
We must, and I am talking about youth. I am not a youth. We must have to inculcate that habit of putting in what justifies our pay. You see, it has eaten deep into our fabric. You know, wanting to be rich overnight, free money. He was nobody yesterday. He was something today. I am telling you, the one ruled this nation at the age of 32. I think the 85th, the military administrator, I think the first military administrator of River State was 29 or 30. Our youth, all that they know is quick money. That is why the politicians will use them with little things and they will forget where they are heading to.
How many? Let me ask you a direct question. How many of those youths have a fair chance of being leaders?
Yes, somebody like what this show already, and the likes of the other one from Igbo here, they will have already gone with them and then.
I said a fair chance. I'm not. That's.
Fair chance.
Yes. How many of them have a fair chance?
They must have to run it out with this route and get power from this. Those of my age.
Okay. Thank you very much. Odima is calling from Aba Road. Hello, Odima.
Yeah, Sam Oracle.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You have said it all. What you did this evening or this afternoon is the gospel. Just give us the gospel this afternoon. I just want to add to all you have said. BBNaija is somebody's shop. It's somebody's personal business. And besides, the cable network that is showing it is not cheap. And it's also a choice. I don't know why people are worrying themselves. They live where they're supposed to come out and demonstrate about people eating their money. They are worrying themselves about somebody's personal shop. Like I said, you have said it all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Chibike is calling from location. I've lost that call. Call back if you can. Dennis from Omagua. Hello, Dennis. I've lost that as well. Dennis, call back if you can. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Yeah, afternoon. My name is Reginald. I'm calling from Togo.
Go ahead.
Yes. BBNaija and nation building. To me, I will say that nation building is important. In as much as I recognize the fact that there are credibility in the activities of Big Brother Naija show. But I want to also say here that the youth should also devote their interest towards nation building, because without nation building, I don't think that there will be no Big Brother Naija show.
All right.
So everybody should be involved in nation building. It's important.
Thank you very much. Abraham is calling from Rumomasi. Hello, Abraham.
Yes, Mr. Sam, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I think I want to disagree with you a bit.
You're free. It's allowed.
Yes. The thing is that when you say the BBM has beat Nigerian system, who will change the Nigerian system? Because systems are made by people and systems are changed by people. So if the Nigerian youth does not see it as a matter of urgency that this country needs to be fought for, then we will be here. Then we'll be here. When we finish complaining, our children will now start and come to here and complain. Because there's nothing good anywhere in this world that is given free. I believe that if like Azra Kwala, whether the young man has a fair chance of winning. I take my constituency for example. You know, mine are not local government. The young man in my House of Assembly, that young man trekked from each house to house, campaigning, and today he's in the other state House of Assembly.
That's good.
Do you understand me? Now, in 2015 and 2019, I was an election observer. Out of the 13 candidates, it was only the two major candidates that went around to campaign. How do I vote for somebody I have not even seen come and tell me what he wants? You see, it is going to be a hard work to revive this country, but the youth don't want to go through that process of that.
Why do you think they don't want to go through that process? I think that's the focus.
Now,
why? Why are they not interested?
Okay. Let me tell you what. You said that people didn't want to come out to vote. They want to stay in their house and vote, which I agree with you. Convenience is everything. But the truth is this, we have been voting since 1999. And if we take another vote for we to change from this one we are doing to electronic, why is it hard work for us to come out in our numbers? And so we have identified Mr. A. This what we want you to do when you get there. Make sure you change this into electronic voting.
Abraham,
from manual voting.
I think the solution to both our problems is this quote: insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. If nothing changes, nothing will change.
Now, that's what I'm saying now. If if you watch the number of people that.
Thank you, Abraham. I've taken other calls. Valentine is calling from Elime. I've lost that call. Tolu from Burukiri. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Sam.
Good afternoon.
I just want to be very honest.
Go ahead.
For the very first time, the way you narrated everything, your explanation is awesome. You see, from the football arrangement to the BB and all that, the combination, I just think that the government is not doing enough. They are not interested in upgrading. They don't want to rebrand the country in a way that it will be effective for we, the citizens. We can vote online. We do things online, a lot of things, fill forms, application, and all that. Why can't we vote online at the convenience of our home? So in the nutshell, what I'm saying is that your analysis today about the election online and all that, I just love it. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. Thank you so much.
That's the idea, Tolu. Thank you very much. So why would young people be interested in something that is bent on killing them rather than uplifting them? They try to mobilize for protests, the government sends armed police to shoot them. They try to speak against bad leaders, the government goes after them. They go to vote during the election and are at risk of getting hit by a bullet. Unlike BBN, they are entertained, happy, and have a chance to better their lives. Mike from Port Hackett, I feel like you should be sitting here because you put it better than I ever could. Good afternoon, Oracle. One of the ways to fix the Nigerian system is with electronic voting, like BBN. Obviously not controlled by the national government. They can be trusted. The cronies, they have been there forever and would not near there again. Obina from Rumibo. Chris from Rumo Dumaya. Hello, Chris.
Sam.
Hi.
Good evening.
Hello.
In fact, you have said it all. Do you know that in 2019 I could not vote?
Why?
Why? I transferred from Lagos to Backup. For to get my voter's card, I cannot get it. And those that have their voter's card are very, they fear to go and vote because of insecurity. The electoral bill act was passed into law by the House in the 8th Assembly. And the president refused to sign it in the 8th Assembly. And even in the 9th Assembly, has not signed it. How can we move forward? Anybody that look, this life is not true. Everybody have some years to live in this planet Earth. And anything that will give you happiness, you do it. So far, it is not entrenched in somebody's fundamental human right.
Okay.
So the government have not done what they're supposed to do for the youth. If the youth come out now to protest, if they did kidnapper, they will be tagged with IPOB. If they do it in Port here, they will tag them the militants. If they do it in the north, they will say it's the Boko Haram. The government have not done what they're supposed to do. Until they do what is needful, then Naija will move forward. Thank you very much.
Sam is calling from Burukiri. Hello, Sam.
Hello, my name is Sam JP. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, Sam. Talk to Sam.
My brother, you have done a very good analysis. In fact, I'm trying, based on what you have mentioned, I have to look at a young man that graduated 10 years ago and is moving up and down without employment. And you now place politics and BBNaija before him. What is he going to see? I feel that based on your analysis, you're going to see, you're going to see something very valuable in BBC because he has something, something that is going to benefit from that. So, our government needs to do something to help the young ones to grow so that, we will not be talking about, national development without involving the youth. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I have a couple of minutes left for this conversation and lots of comments on WhatsApp. Sam, you've said it all, even though I do not subscribe to BBNaija. Beauty from Igruta. There's nothing wrong with friends and admirers raising funds for the disqualified Erica. That's her luck. God has a way of answering our prayers. And once again, God has been dragged into the matter. Some take it or leave it. We see BBNaija civilization, unknown to us, is demonization. These people in the house come from already established homes. Even without BB, they can still make it in life. Well, not all of them are well-to-do. Still have some people who I would hear struggling. Concerning politics and being selected, you know that as I text you in my area, someone who is not even a member of a particular party was called to come and contest as a councillor. He was even given an old party card to make him look like he had been in the system. And someone will come and tell me to go out and vote. Okay. Camus World. Thank you for that. But it's absolute rubbish. Until our voting system becomes transparent, no one will trust our INEC because our vote will not count. For BBN, it's done from your house, and the level of transparency is there from there. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that I used the from the house, as the example. For e-voting, people also leave the house. But it's about the convenience. That's where I'm coming from. The fact that we do not have to wait ages for ballot boxes, it's a more convenient system. To me, BBNaija has nothing to impact in nation building, but should be allowed for those who are interested because it's someone's business. Okay. Sam, you did not mention that viewers even win money from the comfort of their homes, Deji. Oh, yeah, that's something that happens as well. Thank you, Deji. And an anonymous caller is calling. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, Sam. And thank you for what you're doing. And thank you for the lady that just transferred it to you. Yeah, it's a very good topic, but Nigeria is bigger than BBN. And Nigeria is bigger than whatever. But we need to build a system that everybody will be able to learn from.
That's right.
That everybody will feel that they are human beings and there are something that the country needs. The country needs to be put very well and put in a system that works for everybody. But like you said, yeah, is a development in the whole world having a vote from the comfort of your home, which has to be improved, which has to be developed, and which has to be supported. But it's just a pity that we have this kind of country, that we don't have leaders that think in all these ways.
All right.
So the best way is to be able to make everything workable, even for youth, for the adults, and for everybody.
Thank you very much. My final call is from Dennis. I'm not quite sure where he's calling from, but he calls anyways.
Yeah, Sammy, good evening.
Good afternoon / evening.
See, you have highlighted it all, and any reasonable person will think hard. But my fear is what the Bible said, that the thief comes only to destroy, steal, and kill. They will not care about you. It's only themselves. South Africa is our arch rival, economically and politically. Our leaders know it. And
hello, Dennis. Oh, I lost that call. All right. With the 3 minutes left on the clock to the top of the hour, of course, if you think that what I just did was asking you to pick a side, then you lost the point. The topic is BBNaija or national development, but the idea is you can pick both. Where I'm going with all of that is, if we can adopt the system that worked for that reality show, then we can have a better working system. It doesn't make sense that a lot of people do not go out to vote. Voter apathy is a very big problem. So we need to be more engaged in nation building. We need to try to put ourselves out there to ensure that our nation has a plan that actually works. But people would not be as interested if it does not seem like the system is designed in their favor. So the idea behind all this grammar is, let's adopt a better working system, and you will not beg young people or anybody to be interested in nation building. 4 o'clock happens in exactly 2 minutes, and Canvas, the Niger Delta Roundtable, follows immediately after. Don't go anywhere.
start you off in the morning, keep you all day, and keep you company, all night long. We are
92.3
Nigeria Info. The first talk station of the nation.
As public places begin to open and public gatherings taking place more often, we appeal to